Hi, everybody. Oh, goodness. Welcome back. And if you're new to these weekly Wednesday marketing rooms, or lives, I should say, and you're new here, I am Jen Vasquez. I'm a marketing strategist, and I help female entrepreneurs go from overwhelmed to an easy, streamlined marketing strategy that includes Pinterest and repurposing content to grow their business with very little time. So I specialize in people that have very little time to be doing all the things that they need to do to run their business in terms of marketing. Today, we are going to talk about how to create 3 months of blogs with these 5 simple steps. So step 1 is to determine your content pillars or content buckets for your blog. Whatever term you use, you can use categories, pillars, buckets, whatever. When it comes to blogs, the question that I get or I hear the most is what the heck do I even blog about? And this, of course, means what do I blog about that people will want to read, right? That's the real question. And hopefully that's what I'm going to help you with today. So the best way to figure out is to consider what your business focus is, what service or products that you sell, and what your expertise is. What do you really know inside and out? If you take those 3 things and make them circles like a Venn diagram, right in the center is what you should be blogging about. It's what you feel confident about teaching and what you could really help people to improve, period, right? It's your education. And so it's not just that middle, in all honesty. There is some peripheral around sort of the outside of that. But for the most part, you want to pick 3 to 5 different types of categories or content buckets for your blog. So as an example, for my coaching business, my Pinterest and marketing strategy business, it's Pinterest in general, marketing strategy, repurposing content, keywords, and blogging. And blogging is not like the super focus of what I'm educating or my services are, but all of my services when it comes to marketing, if you don't have a blog, you're not going to get as far, right? So blogging is sort of one of my content buckets of what I am going to be blogging about because it's going to help people, but also it's going to help people to find me as well. So if you're, let's say, a wedding photographer, your pillars will probably be weddings, engagement, and wedding planning. And a lot of people will say, well, I'm not a wedding planner. But if you want to get found online, you need to be doing content that people are finding when they're planning their wedding. So you want to be talking about things like how to pick a wedding date and how to picking your wedding dress, finding the venue that you want. Like all of those types of content are in that beginning process of a couple planning a wedding. So sometimes you need to talk about things that are around your expertise because then you're getting people who may need your expertise while you're doing that. So just remember that the point of providing the free tips and advice and resources that you are on your blog goes to building that know, like, and trust process with your potential client. So, and hello everyone coming in. I'm so happy you guys are here. So step 2 is brainstorm topic ideas for each category that you have or content bucket or pillar, etc. For this brainstorm, we are ignoring if you're a wedding photographer, we're not talking about blogging about the wedding that you did, right? We're talking about coming up with this educational content. And first, you want to spend about 20 or 30 minutes and just literally creative write. I'm not talking about writing a blog at this point. I'm talking about writing down, just take 20 or 30 minutes and write down every single potential blog topic that they could talk about. So consider what your current clients have asked you. Consider what people that are looking to potentially work with you have asked you. Consider what people are saying in your DMs. All of those things are something that you could write about. And you want to go ahead and do that for each of the different content buckets that you have. I did this with my group coaching the other day. We only spent 10 minutes doing it, but people came up with 9, 13, 15, and somewhere in the 30s in terms of different blog ideas. So, and that was just in 10 minutes. So taking that time when you're not doing anything else and just writing as much as you can, even if you think you don't have a lot to write about, just that process of sitting down with paper and pen and just writing is helpful. And I say paper and pen because there is some science that says when you're physically writing something that you are more creative and can pull out more things than if you're putting it electronically somewhere. I use Notion for all of my stuff, but I actually do this process in just writing it down and then putting that into my systems, my content planning calendars and things like that. So here are some tools that I have found very effective, and you might also. Ubersuggest is my all-time favorite, and I use it in the free version. I think you get 3 to 5 searches a day. That's in the free version. If I were going to purchase, which I haven't done yet, but if I were going to purchase something in terms of a tool, it would be Ubersuggest. You could do competitive analysis. You can do all kinds of things with it. The other thing that I do, which is free, is keywords, and all of these, by the way, are free. Or at least a couple searches are free, right? Keywords Everywhere is a Chrome plugin that is insane. So every time I go to Google, like if I have a potential title for a blog, I'm going to put that into Google, and on the right side, it's going to show me different keywords that I should be using. And it'll show me the search volumes and things like that. It's pretty incredible. Next is keywordsearch.co. And don't worry, don't rush to write all these down, because I'm going to go ahead and share a link with you that you can then get all of these tools and also my content planning calendar for free. Super simple. It's just a spreadsheet. I take this and my clients have taken this and put it in their own thing like Monday, Asana, or one of those. The next thing that I have used, which is helpful, is Answer the Public. And it is a tool that you can go onto and ask a question and find answers for it. It is really cool because it makes this little diagram with all these words like in a circle, but if you scroll down a little farther, you're going to see more of these little lists that are easier to read. Just a pro tip there. And then this next one, which is quite interesting, is seedkeywords.com. It is something that you can go in and ask how you search for this, like what keywords, what would you type in the search bar to find this information? And it creates a link for you, and you can share that link with really trusted friends or clients even that you love, and see what words they're using. I have done that, and I was blown away and shocked at some of the things that people would actually type into search, which I had not even thought about. But the goal basically is to come up with 4 blogs for each content pillar or bucket that you have, so that you have a minimum of 12 blog ideas for the quarter. Step 3, and by the way, this does not have to be done in one day, just FYI. Step 3 is to research the titles that you have to make them better. So first we're brainstorming, then Then we're going to maybe use some tools to find some more ideas if we didn't get enough ideas. Then we're going to go ahead and the biggest mistake people make is they use a title that they think is catchy or awesome, and then they just blog with that title. And what you can do that's better and will get you found better on Google is to take that and research it and find keywords and in the title that has a high search volume but low competition. And you can find that with the tools that I had mentioned before. Also consider, if you're a service-based business, to use those local words. If you only sell locally, like maybe a wedding photographer, for instance, I'm in San Jose, I would use San Jose, Silicon Valley, Bay Area, California, Northern California, South Bay. Like, I would use all the location specific keywords to help get found even better. Step 4 is to create 5 to 7 social media posts from each of those blogs that you have identified, right? And this is more of a step after, but I'm just putting it in here because I think repurposing is something that people don't do as often as they should, and they would find so much amazing content that way, or it would be so much easier if you take and make 20 different blog posts for the month, 20 different media posts for the month from the blog post that you have for that quarter. And so, for the rest of the social media, you might want to consider introductions, lead magnets, like invites to lead magnets, educational content, inspirational content, that kind of thing. But step 5 is the most important part, and it's kind of where you are going to use that social media as well as the blog information. You want to create a content calendar and identify which of your ideas that you've brainstormed about are going to be blog posts for which week. Blogging once a week is recommended. And so the reason why you want to do this is because it is always helpful if one blog post leads to the next, leads to the next, leads to the next. It doesn't have to be that way, but it certainly drives more opportunity to get found. And for people who read one blog post and like it, they might consider and sort of dive deep into your blogs and spend more time on your website, which is going to make Google so much happier and put your information out there so much. And you want to identify which blogs you'll use for which week. Consider what you may be launching for, or if you're a wedding pro, like where you are in that wedding process. You can use software like Asana, Notion, Monday, Trello. I love Notion, but I did create a content planner for my group coaching folks. And it has on there sort of what blogs you're doing, when you've done them, when you've finished them, which is great because then you can have the link that you can share with people if someone asks you that question down the road, a potential client. But it also has an ideas section. And I love that because you could be at the grocery store or driving your kids to school or what have you, or you're waiting in line somewhere and you get an idea for a blog post and you can just write it down on there. And that way, when you're doing blog posts each week, you can like look at it and be okay with it, and make sure you're not losing that idea that you had. Because how many times have great ideas not been written down? All the time for me. The key is to ensure that you plan your schedule for this content so that you know what to do each week. And bonus points for those who take a few days to write out the 3 months of blogs. So I have had a client who writes 3 months of blogs at a time, and she takes 1 day to do all of the writing of it. And then the second day, she does all the editing and scheduling of her blogs. And that way she is like, only doing what she doesn't like for 2 days of 3 months, right? That's not something I do. But you can also take a day each month and write 4 blogs so that you've got all your blogs set up for the entire month in just 1 day. You spend the morning brainstorming and writing the blogs. You spend the afternoon actually editing and scheduling them out for the future. For that type of planning, definitely try different things to make sure what works for you. I personally do a combination of both. So if I have a busy season, which I do a couple months out of the year, I will do all my blogs in 1 day for the month so that I'm not crazy also during this busy season time. But mostly I like to write my blogs, do the brainstorming, creating of it on Sunday when I'm the most rested and it makes me feel good going into the work week. And then on Monday, I go ahead and edit it and schedule it and make the the graphics and all that kind of stuff. And when I do that, I make all the graphics for my social media posts from that as well and get those scheduled so that I feel really set up for the week. So any questions from you now? If not, no worries. I will go ahead and come back again next week. Every Wednesday, I come and I talk about marketing things to help you and make marketing a lot easier. I'm going to go ahead and share the link in here for